I'm Juanita and welcome back to the Knit Guru. I like strawberries. I have a massive strawberry patch. I think strawberries are aesthetically beautiful. And I've wanted to knit something or crochet something covered in strawberries for the longest time. It's finally time to bring this idea into fruition. I've gone back and forth about whether or not I want to do like an intarsia strawberry and make it a knitted cardigan, or whether or not I want to do like a crochet cardigan with strawberry granny squares. But I think what I've settled on is this. Ages ago, like we're talking my very first Hobie order, I think, I ordered this Tweed Dreams. It doesn't scream strawberry to you, I'm sure. To be fair, when I bought this, I saw the yellow one. I think the yellow Tweed Dreams was the one that was right there in my vision on the advert, and I was like, oh, that's nice, I like that. And then for some reason I went on the side and bought the blue one. It's not like the other one was out of stock. I think it was just in my, you know what, I should probably be more conservative in my old age days. And now I'm like, you know what? Exactly. I'm not worried about conservative. Go hard or go home. That's what I say. Anyway, I've got this blue Tweed Dreams, and I think I've got enough for a cardigan. I say think because I'm not entirely sure. Have I made a gauge swatch? No, of course I haven't. Why would I start with a gauge swatch? I'm going to have to make a gauge swatch because I do need to figure out whether or not I've got enough yarn. That's the life struggle at this point. I mean, I feel like I should have enough yarn, but who knows? Then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some applique strawberries to sew on top of my cardi, because then I can have the best of both worlds. I prefer a knitted cardigan, and I think it's going to be easier to crochet a strawberry, I think. Am I going to put my strawberries all over the place? I don't know. Am I going to collate them all at the bottom? I don't know. Am I going to share the pattern with you? Yes, I probably will share the pattern with you. If it turns out, I will share the pattern with you. If it doesn't turn out, we will all have a giant laugh at my fruit-covered cardigan when it gets done. Right, so this here is suggesting that I use a 4.5mm needle, which is good because that means I can knit it up quite quickly. I will probably stretch that out to a 5 because it does feel a lot fatter. Like it's a decent feeling acrylic yarn. It's just an acrylic. I don't think I paid a lot for it. But, you know, who knows? That's how long I've had it. Is this a stash busting video? No, because I don't even want to calculate how much yarn I have or how long it's going to take me to use it. I really like yarn. I saw a meme the other day, and it literally just said, who's to say the yarn's not addicted to me? You know, so who's to say the yarn's not addicted to me? Anyway, this is saying a 4.5mm needle. I think what I will do is I will do the band in the 4.5mm needle, and then I will move on to the body of the cardigan in a 5mm needle. I think because it feels like it's a similar weight. Oh, the glue's just given up the ghost. It feels like a similar weight to the Cascade Merino that I use to make my book vest, which means I can use my book vest pattern as a rough guide for making the size that I want. From memory, I had 100 stitches across for my book vest. And I'll have to look up exactly how much yarn I used for that. This here is... How heavy is this ball? What are you telling me, Hobie? Are you telling me anything? Okay, so it's 50 grams. It's 100 meters in this ball. I feel like my Cascade Merino hanks were 100 grams. I'm going to have to look that up. I feel like they were 100 grams. And I used 2 orange ones and 1 cream one, I think. I had spares. I don't know. Might have to go back and rewatch that video. In the meantime, let's get moving on this and see what we can do. Tweed Dreams. in a colour that I didn't know I wanted until I bought it in this colour. And we're going to cover it in strawberries. I don't have the yarn for the strawberries on hand yet. I haven't even decided what the strawberries are going to be made out of. I just have a vision. And hopefully that'll mean that I'll get my life sorted out and release my strawberry cables to you. So there's that. It's definitely one of those days. Let's see how we go. Right, so I've been measuring this against the book vest to see how long it's going to be, and I've started a decrease for the armholes. And what's incredible is that this here, we're still on ball 3. There's that much of ball 3. I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough yarn, and now I'm less worried, but I still don't actually know exactly how many balls I have, but I do know that I can get more. It's still available on Hobie. I just have such regret over the fact that I hummed and hawed between the blue and the yellow when I bought this, and I went with the blue, and I really wish I had the yellow, but that's okay. The blue's still nice. Okay, so this is where my strawberry cardigan is up to. The pattern looks quite repetitive and intentional from where you are, but it is more random when I look at it, I think. Right, so I have done some decreases for the arms. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to then measure it off of my, the book vest, to work out where to bring it to, because I would like that to sit about there, and then this is going to come up. I'll get to about here on the back. I'll hold those stitches, do about 4 more extra rows, I think helps on my shoulders, and then cast off. I am going to cast off. I'm not going to just take them over the top because I've got very broad shoulders, and I have found that a raglan sleeve just makes me look silly. I mean, I'm already silly. I don't need to worry about whether or not the sleeves are doing their job, but I think after all my years of thinking I preferred a raglan, I don't. I prefer a square neckline, and I preferred it to be cast off because I like having the structure along the top of the shoulder. So there's that. I'm nearly finished the back, and the bit that's really fascinating is that I have used 1, 2, this is my 4th ball of yarn. So that's, and only just, this is 3 balls of yarn, and this is the Hobie Tweed Dreams. It's just going such a long way. That's what I'm quite impressed with. Oh, stupid. That's going to be annoying. I don't think I can edit out that much sound. So we're going to call this quits, and I'm going to go and do some dishes and make some breakfast and then work on it. I should be able to finish the back panel today, and then I'll be able to start working on the rest of it. Have I got up to working out about the strawberries? No. No, I haven't. Stop judging me. I really haven't figured out the strawberries yet. At all. Still not sure whether I'm going to knit or crochet them, but they are going to be applicator on afterwards, so I'm not worried about it. Anyway, that's really getting up there. So it's time to go and be productive. I'll catch you later. Now, I have been working on my Tweed Dreams jumper, and because I was particularly worried about, I was literally in the process of knitting up as much as I could to make sure that I had enough yarn to finish the project. But then I can't order from Hobie anymore, and I haven't even finished. I finished one front and one back at this point, so I had to get some more just in case. So I've got 5 balls of the blue just to pad it out, because it was 4 balls for the back, and I actually lost count of how many balls I have total, and I don't want to run out, and I don't want to end up having to do something different around the front collar, or this way I will definitely have enough to do pockets if I want to do pockets or something along those lines. So I've got 5 balls of that colour, and then I also picked up, because I want to put strawberries on this cardigan, I picked up a green and 2 red. Now I think the red are cherry, and I think the green is emerald, I think. Of course, you can't tell with Hobie once it arrives, because it just says on the label that this is colour 26 and colour 12. So that's great. Well, I've finished all the pieces to this cardigan, but I've left the fronts back at home, so I can't sew them up. But the next plan is to knit some strawberries out of this red, and then when I stitch them on, I think I can lazy daisy stitch the strawberry tops with the green. That's the plan at this stage, but it's just going to have to wait until I get back home, because I've brought the sleeves, I've brought the back, but without the fronts I can't attach anything, because it's not a raglan, it's a square shouldered drop sleeve cardigan. is finished but not finished, if that makes sense. Oh, drop in those bits. I thought I had them somewhere else. I clearly didn't. They're going to drop out. There's a bit of extra yarn string. There are no ends darned in on this yet. Mentally, I thought I had darned in these ends. No, I haven't. What I have done is I have finished knitting this blue cardigan. So it's a blue cardigan. This yarn is Tweed Dreams from Hobie. It's an acrylic yarn, and this is my strawberry cardigan. It's called the Strawberry Cardigan because when I first saw the ad for Hobie, and I think this was my first purchase from Hobie, was this yarn. I saw it in yellow. It had like red and green and blue flecks in it, and I thought, oh, reminds me of a strawberry patch. But at that point in my life, I was trying to be conservative. I guess. I don't know. I think it's probably more that my ex-husband didn't like things that were too out there, and I'm a bit too out there, which is definitely why he is an ex-husband. So that cardigan is done. That is the hardest part done. Now I've been working on making these patches, but I've made about 4 or 5, or maybe 3 according to what I'm holding in my hands. I wonder if I've dropped some on the ground. Tiny strawberries in various sizes, and I'm going to stitch them on the bottom. This is also the Tweed Dreams in red, and I've got some Tweed Dreams in green to do the bits at the top. So this will be my strawberry cardi. What I just need to do is to sit down and knit a whole stack of these, and then it will be done. I also need to order some buttons, and I would like them to be strawberry buttons. I do have strawberry buttons somewhere for the pink cardigan I made, but they're pale pink strawberries, and I would like these to be red strawberries. So this one is nearly finished, and let's go out on a limb and say I'm going to finish this in August so that I can wear this on my birthday. If I say it and manifest it, it's got a better chance of happening. I do have leftover Tweed Dreams yarn. I did need to buy extra yarn in my last Hobie order, which I knew I needed to buy extra, but I didn't know how much I needed to buy extra. I wasn't far enough along in the project to really work it out. I think I bought 4 balls, and I think I needed 2. So maybe there'll be a matching hat. Maybe it'll just be that this yarn goes into the stash, and at some point I'll use it for something.
100 to 500, I'm assuming that's 80, so that would have...
Second ball found. That means I've potentially got more strawberries. Maybe I might lay my strawberries that I've currently made out and see. Yeah, I need more of them. Unless, no, I just need more. Alright, here's my strawberry cardigan so far. I've finished the cardigan part of it. And now, oh, well, we don't want this. This is just now in the way. So, what have we got? We have now got, I've made nearly a full ball of strawberries, but they're not all on here yet. So I've been stitching them on the back, like so, and I've been adding in some embroidered leaves. I think this version looks better than that version, but I might do some of both. What I've been doing is I found this many safety pins. Now, I am someone who buys so many safety pins, it's not funny. I don't know where they all are. So I'm using this many safety pins at the moment, and what I'm doing is I'm pinning that many on, stitching them on, and then moving on to the next section, which meant that this was one quick project during part of an evening when I had some spare time. This was some of last night before dinner, and then it meant that I can pin the next ones on, and now I don't have any excuses. I don't have to think when I next pick up this project. I just pick up my sharp needle and I stitch these on in place, and then I pick up the rest of them and add them on. I do need more of them, I think. I have marked on the places where I want to put my strawberry buttons, but I haven't done that yet. I'm contemplating as to whether or not I put any strawberries on the sleeves. I think it would be cute to maybe put 2. But the whole time I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, why didn't I just do the thing that I wanted to do when I first saw this yarn online and buy it in yellow, because if I bought it in yellow, it would look so much better in yellow than it does in blue. But I didn't. I thought I was going to be a sensible woman and make a sensible vest or something like that. And instead I'm making a strawberry cardigan in blue that could have been in yellow with the same sort of tweedy flecks. Either way, it's coming out nicely and I'm going to enjoy wearing it. And I think I'm going to enter it into the AMP show if I finish it in time. So there's that. Now I should go and get something else done or make some breakfast. Alright, so today we're going to attempt to film a tutorial for these strawberries. They are just appliques and they have been stitched on after the cardigan's been finished. You can see some of my stitches on the inside because, you know, quality. So I'm going to show you how to do these strawberries, and I'll probably make one to go in about this spot here and we'll stitch it on the cardigan, because why wouldn't we? Put the dog to sleep, you know? Okay, so I've been using Hobie Tweed Dreams for this project. You can use whatever you want. A pink or a red seems to make sense. And I've got this green. I would have preferred to have something that was a little bit less jungle green, but unfortunately that's what I've got. Right, okay, so today we're going to be using this 4.5mm needle for the strawberries. Again, you can just use whichever size needles you want. I like doing these on double pointed. It's not necessary to do them on double pointed needles. We are also going to, well, just annoy all your senses by dragging across some metal scissors and a metal needle. Right, so with the red, what we're going to do to start off with, I am attempting a different overhead filming setup, so we're going to see just how badly I manage this. I'm already concerned that I've got the lighting completely wrong and that I'm blocking the light source. You know, the usual. But you know me, let's just roll with it and see what kind of chaos we can come up with. Right, we're just going to start by casting on 3 stitches. So, you know, if you're one of those people who doesn't like casting stuff on, perfect, we're only doing 3 stitches. Right, now what we're going to do is we are going to knit into the front and the back of our first stitch. We're going to knit into the front and the back of our second stitch. And we're just going to knit the last stitch. That there, we're just going to tighten up that tail there. This is the top of the strawberry, and the strawberry's knit down. So we've got 5 stitches on our needle at the moment. Row 2 is a purl row. We all love a purl row. Sorry, team. So we're going to purl or into the front and back of the stitch, so we're doing an increase here. You can try other methods of making one. I've just found that this keeps the stitches tightly together, and that's what you want. Then we're going to knit, or purl 2. Then we're going to purl into the front and back of the second to last stitch on the row. It's really a purl into the front and a knit into the back, isn't it? And that will take us up to 7 stitches on the needle, and we've got this curve happening. Then what we're going to do is we are going to knit into the front and back of the first stitch of row 3. we're going to knit to the second to last stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to knit into the front and back of the second to last stitch on the row, and we're going to knit the last stitch. My apologies if you hear roosters in the background, and Rocky, who's well, he's deciding that sitting right next to me in the tripod is the perfect place to have a nap today. It isn't for me, it is for him. Right, okay, we're now up to row 4. Row 4, we are just going to purl across the whole row. We are done with our increasing. The strawberries don't get any larger than 9 stitches. So, you know, these whip up relatively quickly. Admittedly, did it take me months to do them all? Yes, it did, because I lost the will to live. Row 5, we're just knitting. Yeah, because when you're making them, I made an entire ball of strawberries. I did do some different pattern designs along the way to try and settle on exactly how I wanted my strawberries to be, and this is the one I settled on for most of them. So there are a few that are a little bit larger. Like I did have some that went up to 11 and some that only went to 7. So there's some smaller ones and some larger ones, but these are the ones that I think worked best in scale. Right, we're up to row 6, I believe, and we're purling all the way across. I know what you're thinking, this is exciting, what fun. So we're going to start decreasing now for our strawberry. Rocky may decide to have a bark, because why wouldn't he? My lighting source has changed. I still think I'm in the way of it. Oh well. Okay, right. Now we're going to start our decreasing. So we are on row... Oh, we've done 8, haven't we? Have we? We've done 8 or 6. We've done 3 increasing, 3 regular, so we've done 6. We're on row 7. Oh, I tell you, concussion. It does not help your head. Right, what we're going to do first of all is we're going to slip 2 as if to knit, because we're going to do an SSK and knit those 2 together. You can do a slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over if you prefer. Then we are knitting to the last 2 stitches. And when we get to the last 2 stitches, we are knitting 2 together. Right, now all of our purl rows for the next wee while are just plain purl. So row 8, we are just purling right across. Somewhere in storage I have plastic needles that I should use for tutorials, because metal needles are annoying. Right, okay, row 9, the same as row 7. We are just going to slip, slip, knit the first 2 together as a decrease. Then we're going to knit to the last 2, which in this case is 3 stitches, and knit them together. Right, then we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to purl all the way across. Okay, same as we have been doing, we are 2 rows from the end of our strawberry. So we are going to get our tails hooked up in our knitting yarn, clearly. We are going to slip, slip, knit, or SSK, knit 1, knit 2 together, and that's given us the majority of our strawberry shape. So now what we're going to do with these 3 here, on our wrong side, we are just going to purl these 3 together. And that's going to give us our strawberry point. I'm now going to cut the yarn with a bit of a tail remaining. Pull it through. Absolutely despair at my lighting change and the fact that I'm clearly blocking it at some point. Right, here's our strawberry. So what we're now going to do is take our cardigan back, because we may as well go whole hog. I did enter this cardigan in the AMP show, and it did not place in adult garment any style, any yarn, which, you know, I really didn't expect it to place in this category. It wasn't what I wanted to enter in the category. It was just that I had it mostly finished. Right, okay, so all we're going to do here is, well, all I do You might have better skills than me. It's quite possible. We're just going to go around the outside of our strawberry here, picking up bits of our cardigan. Again, you can use any cardigan pattern you want for this cardigan, because the strawberries are all just appliques. Oh, Rocky. Right, okay. When we get to this bit here where we've got our other yarn tail, because I'm lazy, sometimes I left not enough yarn on one yarn tail and had to use both of them to stitch the strawberry on, and sometimes I didn't. There's part of me that thought, should I use an embroidery hoop for this bit to make sure they lay flat? But then I realised, actually, I quite like the fact that this is a really uneven process. So I'm able to go around the applique, just stitching it on around the edge. Tucking in that yarn tail gives it just that little bit of extra dimension in a very lazy way, because, you know, why put in too much effort on your strawberry cardigan? I mean, literally, this is a pattern that was living rent-free in my head because I saw this yarn on Hobie many, many moons ago. I regret not buying it in yellow because I saw it in yellow and I was like, ugh, strawberry cardigan. But at that point, I was in a complicated relationship with my ex-husband. Let's just say that much. And he would not have approved of me wearing bright colours or strawberries. So I bought blue, and my plan was to make like a plain blue cardigan. You know how you see red flags in retrospect? Yeah, retrospect. Anyway, so here's our strawberry all stitched on. I'm just going to weave that end in just a little bit. Right, I'm now going to trim that off, and we have our strawberry on. How do we do our greenery? We're just going to take a little length of the green yarn. I would tell you exactly what shades I'm using if you want the Hobie Tweed Dreams, but we know that my I can't work out what the phrase is. This is colour 26. I would call it a jungle green. This one is colour 12, and I would call it maybe strange cherry. Yeah, I don't know what the colours are in Hobie. I don't like using a number. I prefer having a colour name. Right, so we're going to the top part of our strawberry, which was our cast on edge. I'm just pulling my tail up through the centre of the strawberry so that I make the tail disappear. I'm just going to do a couple of anchoring stitches in the top of my strawberry so that the yarn doesn't pull through. And now, a little bit like a lazy daisy, we're going to stitch on some leaves. So I'm just going through the strawberry, but not the cardigan in behind, pulling up a loop, coming through, pulling it tight, then going back down through that same hole and coming back up at the top. I forget when I learnt the lazy daisy stitch. It might have been about 8. I use it infrequently, but when I do start using it, I end up using it on everything. I don't know if Strawberry Cardigan is going up before Secret Project, but there's some lazy daisy stitch on Secret Project. I'm still calling it Secret Project, even though this could very well go up after. I'm planning on wearing this cardigan on Christmas Day because New Zealand Christmas is summer, and for me, summer is strawberries, and strawberries are my aesthetic. I did wear this to the farmer's market last week as well because we're selling eggs. I know that none of you are in the market for buying eggs because I don't think that I really don't think I have too many subscribers in my local area. I think I've met one. So I've got one definite subscriber in the local area, and if you come up and see me at the farmer's market and say you watch my videos, I will 100% give you a dozen eggs. Because why not? Why not indeed? Right, we've got some lazy daisy stitches there, and we've got our yarn tail. I'm just going to throw in a couple of little stitches to anchor my yarn again because I don't want these to come out. Then I'm just going to pull through my strawberry pull it slightly tighter than it needs to and trim it off. And that is how I've attached the strawberries on my cardigan and how to make the strawberries. I've used over a ball of this red. Now, there's about 3 or 4 that I've made out of this ball. I'm tempted to sit and make some more and stitch them on at some point, but that point is not today. Yeah, now let's go to the final reveal. All right, here is my finished strawberry cardigan. Is it literally everything? Kind of. It kind of is. I really do wish that I had been a braver person when I bought the yarn. Like, I'm a braver person now than I was when I purchased the yarn. I think my gut instinct was right to get the yellow, but instead I bought the blue because I was trying to be a conservative middle-aged lady. Forget that, I'm no longer a conservative middle-aged lady. Right, okay, can you see all of my strawberries? They are all appliques sewn on and embroidered. They go all the way around. And then I found these little buttons, which are cute little strawberries. I also purchased them in pink because why not? They do hold my cardigan closed. What am I happy with? What am I not so happy with? The actual cardigan pattern itself, I'm not going to bother sharing because I'm happy with the front. I'm happy with the sleeves. I am not happy with the back. I feel like I need more shaping around the back, but it also could just be that I have put on a lot of weight recently while I've been concussed. And so things aren't fitting me the way I want them to fit me. So either I just need to lose the weight, which is a sensible thing to do because I keep injuring myself at this weight, or I need to adapt the pattern. Either way, it needs work. I am happy with it overall. It looks cute. It's going to do exactly what I want it to do. I've already worn it to the farmer's market. Yes, I was a hit. At least one person commented on my cardigan, and I was wearing my raspberry overalls at the same time. So if you want to make your own strawberry cardigan, actually the tweed looks really cool on camera. The tweed effect doesn't look quite so tweedy in real life. It just looks a little bit motley in real life, but from a distance it looks quite tweedy on camera. So you've got the tutorial for the strawberries themselves and how to make those. So if you want to make your own strawberry cardigan or strawberry vest or strawberry whatever, feel free. Use the tutorial for that there. If I ever get around to creating a cardigan pattern that I'm really happy with, they'll work on that. If you've got a cardigan pattern that you're happy with, just use that one. You do you, boo. Right, so if you want to stick around and watch another video, YouTube thinks you're going to like this one. If you want to stick around and see other things that I've knitted and crocheted and other patterns and projects, you can watch this playlist down here. If you want to stick around and see whether I'll ever finish this house, I, being the operative word there, subscribe. And I will see you next week. Bye.